30th May marks the birthday of the service tree. This tree is no stranger to anyone associated with the Sri Aurobindo Ashram. Its canopy spreading over the Samadhi, its gentle breeze, squirrels and birds joyously living in its branches, the service tree is very much an integral part of the ashram, the Samadhi, and the vibrations that emanate from it. This video is a humble offering to commemorate this symbol of service. The service tree is botanically called the Peltaphorum pterocarpum, or the yellow copperpot tree. It was planted on a Tuesday, the 30th of May, in the year 1930. Let us now listen to what Dyuman Bhai has to recollect on the service tree. Till now, nobody has been born greater than the mother as a servitor to Sri Aurobindo, to the Lord, nor greater than Sri Aurobindo to the Mother Divine, Adi Shakti. He worshipped her. He served her. It's in this context that the name service was given to the tree. The ashram consisted of 4 different houses. One by one, they were hired or purchased and joined together. The mother and Sri Aurobindo were staying in the library house, what is now the entrance to the ashram. They came to this house on 8th February 1927. Subsequently, new building work started. To wash the bricks for this work and for the cement, 3 tanks were built in 1930. From Prosperity Hall to Ravindra's fruit room, all was newly built. There was a mango tree where the service tree now stands. The mango tree was to be cut down. The mother asked us to get a service tree plant from the botanical garden. As Parichand is now the ashram gardener, Manu Bhai was then the gardener. His helpers were Ambu and myself. The tree was planted on a Tuesday. Why this was done, we couldn't make out. In 1930, it was planted. Was there any particular reason for planting the tree there? No, we were doing gardening. We were under Manu Bhai. He went and brought a sapling and we put it there. Was it intended to be central or was it just a tree there? It may have been decided in the upper world. It has to be. Otherwise, why should it be there? When you planted it, you didn't think that it would be dominating the courtyard? We didn't know. The mother may have known it in the occult world. Was the mother aware that you're going to plant a tree here? Why? Even the smallest thing we did not do without asking her. Did the mother plant it herself? No, the mother asked us to plant it. The place those days was full of cats, would go on the roof, drop the tiles because they would always fight. And there was always a lot of noise. They were everywhere. So we asked the mother, why not remove this? Why not remove that? No, if you want, you may fill up these 3 tanks with sand or something and put ferns on top. We did that when Sri Aurobindo left his body. She said, I want to keep him in the center of the ashram. There are 3 tanks. Keep the western side tank as it is. The other 2, you can make one. Go deep down 10 feet. Put Sri Aurobindo at the bottom. At 5 feet, put a slab. Then she uttered a prophecy for herself. If something happens to me, put me there. So accordingly, he is below. Then comes the mother. And at the top you go and surrender yourselves to her and to Sri Aurobindo. And this Sri Aurobindo and this mother We are all serving. That is the gist of the beginning of the service tree. Whom does it serve? I told you, the mother and Sri Aurobindo. How each of them served each other, I have told you. Why the place was kept there from 1930, that she knew, though Sri Aurobindo was telling us from 1920 that he would remain forever, and 24th November 1926 was declared the day of victory, and 2 days later was the Immortality Day. The Mother brought down the force of immortality, but the divine grace has other ways. He left his body, and the Mother decided to keep him in this ashram at the center, not outside, so that this becomes the center of the universe, and the universe comes to the Lord for the new life, and she merges into him. This is called Sri Aurobindo's Samadhi. She merged into him. No separation between the two. Did you water the service tree every day? Yes, Ambu and I. You know Ambu? He stays at Nantuil. He came in 1928 as a young boy. We were a gang of workers. These are stories of 60 years ago. When you planted the service tree, didn't the cats disturb it? No, the cats did not disturb it, and everything, the cats, etc., remained unchanged till 1945. When the Second World War was going on, there was a threat that the Japanese might come and drop bombs here. Then we built a new house where 2 old houses had stood. When was the concrete structure built to hold the branches of the service tree? The service tree began to grow. The branches began to go on the roof of the old house. We had to remove the old house. What to do with the branches? So this scaffolding was built. What we call the Sanchi Railings were created. They were done by Samir, the architect from Czechoslovakia, who had come here with Raymond and Nakashima, and together the 3 of them built Golconda. So this whole creation in the ashram courtyard was by Samir, and at the foot of each pillar you will find a square place. You see, the Mother used to come in the evening on the terrace and give meditation. Her idea was to have grass in each square, but that could not be done, so pebbles were put. When was this built? The whole thing started from 1930 to 32, when the first floor room was ready. Then the Mother came there on 24th April 1932. She used to be in the small corner room where Champakla now stays. Did the service tree grow very fast? Yes, because of all-round protection, and then water, and thirdly because the Mother was always looking at it. The Mother is responsible for its growth. So often in cyclonic weather the branches were broken. If you look carefully, you will see that many have been cut. As they were broken, we had to cut them off. Didn't the roots disturb the place where Sri Aurobindo's body has been kept? Well, I haven't gone down where the body has been kept, so I can't say. But when the pit was being prepared? No, at that time nothing. Then the tree was very young. Now it's very big, a giant tree. But 38 years back it was only 20 years old. Now the roots are moving everywhere. They have even crossed the wall and gone on to the other side. When it was 50 years old, the picture was distributed to everybody. There is a very beautiful piece on the service tree written by Krishna Chakravarti called the Golden Raindrops. Reading this very vividly paints a picture of the tree in its various avatars during the different seasons and its significance in the ashram. The Golden Raindrops by Krishna Chakravarti. 1, 2, 3. They drop like golden raindrops all over the place, bringing with them a soft, mellow fragrance, soothing like old sweet memories. Isn't there a tender touch of that golden light that Sri Aurobindo and the mother want to establish on earth? His body was suffused with a golden light. She broke open the door between the beyond and the earth with a golden hammer, and the supramental light, force, and consciousness rushed down upon earth. Isn't the tree standing as a sentinel over their samadhi, in touch with the light in the deepest earth core? And imbibing that golden light through its roots, its trunk, its branches and twigs, its leaves, and finally in the tiny yellow flowers, it spreads a golden aura, charged with their love and compassion for humanity, pervading the atmosphere with their grace. Come November, sitting in the courtyard, if you happen to look up, you will be struck with the beauty of a clear blue sky with a few floating clouds. Haven't you observed it before? You can't remember. A few days later, looking up again, you see more of the sky and realize that the service tree is shedding its leaves, permitting you to see the wintry sky and enabling the far blue sky to marvel at the beauty of the samadhi. Winter has come. One more month and you may feel a pang that perhaps the all-enveloping tree is dying. No leaves, only the branches and half-dead twigs, and more of the sky and the clouds and the flying birds. Days pass. All of a sudden, you will discover one day a few soft green leaves decorating the branches. Oh, the tree is coming to life. The courtyard gets partly covered. Spring has come. Come February darshan, and the tree stands in all its grandeur, its topmost branches held high, proud to be sheltering the thousands of devotees coming to the samadhi, and they in turn look up in awe and admiration. Come March, and you will find a few yellowish patches scattered in the courtyard. In a day or two, a few more of them. A revelation. The flowers have come. You look up in all earnestness, only see the green curtain of leaves under the blue sky. A few more fresh flowers, and then through the foliage you will find the golden flowers on the stems beckoning the southern breeze. Summer has come. The service tree is in full bloom, a golden dome over the samadhi. And now comes your test. The courtyard is full of flowers. How to cross and reach the meditation hall without crushing them? You may find a few patches of crushed flowers and would not feel guilty stepping on them. So here comes your agility, your flexibility, your muscle control to hop, skip and jump. On occasion, you may dash against a person doing the same skip and jump. Then you realize that not only a physical fitness but a mental alertness is also required to cross the hurdles put by the tree. Come 29th March, and it covers the courtyard with a golden carpet to welcome the mother on her very first meeting with the Lord, and unconsciously you will repeat the prayer of the mother written on 30th March 1914. It matters little that there are thousands of beings plunged in the densest ignorance. He whom we saw yesterday is on earth. His presence is enough to prove that a day will come when darkness shall be transformed into light, and thy reign shall be indeed established upon earth. Your competition with the tree continues. There are times when one is defeated. The flower drops on the exact spot at the very moment you put your foot and you crush it. Oh, what remorse to have crushed the golden low, and you take up the challenge not to be defeated again. Come 4th April and a shower of flowers welcomes the anniversary of Sri Aurobindo's arrival at Pondicherry. As the town could not celebrate in 1910 for political reasons, the tree, keen on not losing this unique and golden opportunity, showers flowers in abundance all over the courtyard every year without fail, and one or two may even fall on your head or get caught in your dress, and you consider yourself very fortunate to have this gift from them, of their love and grace. Come 24th April, the final arrival of the mother in 1920, and there is a golden path laid down by the flowers to guide us all on the journey to the new world of which they were the harbingers and the pioneers. Lord, Thou hast willed, and I execute. A new light breaks upon the earth. A new world is born. The things that were promised are fulfilled. Shortly after, the flowers get scarce. One has the impression that they bloom only to celebrate these 3 very eventful and significant days in the history of the earth. By August, you will find a few dead twigs scattered in the courtyard. The leaves take a pale yellow color. The autumn has come. A sadness creeps into you with a strong feeling that one more year has passed with no progress made on your part. You look up at the tree and it seems to say, "Don't lose hope. Take courage. The path is arduous. The very regret of having wasted a year is a step forward. So why not get ready like me for the next year? Keep physically fit and mentally alert, or else you may get defeated doing hop, skip and jump. Keep your aim, your very innermost root, fixed on them like me, and aspire for the new light and consciousness. Haven't you noticed how by my aspiration I am growing higher and higher? Let your heart grow as vast as the ocean. Be firm and noble and charitable. Yes, there is a sublime charity, one which rises from a happy heart, from a serene soul, and dedicate your entire life to their service. That's the reason I am the service tree. A story associated with the service tree as told by the mother. There is a trust in animals which doesn't exist in humans. Even children already have too much of a questioning mind. But with him, there was a kind of worship and adoration. As soon as I took him in my arms, if he could have smiled, he would have. As soon as I held him, he became blissful. That one too was beautiful, with such a color, golden chestnut. I have never seen a cat like him. He is buried here, beneath the tree I named Service. I put him beneath the roots myself. There had been an old mango tree there that was withering away. We replaced it with a little copper pot tree with yellow flowers. These animals are so nice when you know how to handle them. When I moved here to the ashram, I said, "We can't bring any cats into this house. It's quite impossible." This was after Big Boy's death, and we have had enough of cats. I gave away the others, but the first one, the mother of the whole line, was old and didn't want to leave, so I felt her behind. She stayed in a house over there within the ashram compound, and one day she was very old and could no longer move. I saw her come dragging in and sit down on the terrace on the other side. Now you can't see it any more. The service tree has hidden it completely, but in those days you could see it very clearly. She came and sat down over there where she could watch me until she died. Quietly, without moving, she died watching me. Another reminiscence by the mother associated with the service tree. Take ND for example, a man who lived his whole life with the idea of serving Sri Aurobindo. He died clasping my photo to his breast. This was a consecrated man, very conscious, with an unfailing dedication, and all the parts of his being well organized around the psychic. The day he was going to leave his body, little M was meditating next to the Samadhi, when suddenly she had a vision. She saw all the flowers of the tree next to the Samadhi, those yellow flowers I have called service, gathering themselves together to form a big bouquet and rising straight up. And in her vision, these flowers were linked with the image of ND. She ran quickly to their house, and he was dead. I only knew about this vision later, but on my side, when he left, I saw his whole being gathered together, well united, thoroughly homogeneous, in a great aspiration and rising without dispersing, without deviating, straight up to the frontier of what Sri Aurobindo has called the higher hemisphere, there where Sri Aurobindo in a supramental action presides over earth, and he melted into that light. Pranabda also recollects this thing which came now in November 1973. I think she had prepared me enough for it from quite a long time back. Long before, say in the year 1948, when Sri Aurobindo was still living, she told me, "I am not willing to go. I will not go. And this time there will be no tragedy. But if it so happens that I leave my body, then put my body under the service tree." The service tree stands tall, like an umbrella, offering its service to Sri Aurobindo and the Mother, and is a reminder to all those who offer homage to them to be like it in its tireless, completely consecrated service. May we remember this every time we behold the beauty of the service tree. Om Namo Bhagavate.